Hey Jenny, um, I'm sorry that nobody answered your question in the forum. It's possible that nobody saw it. I thought that the course had set it up to email people automatically if somebody posted in the forum, but I don't think that's true. So I'll have to ask the tech people how to set that up. But in any case, I'm going to show you here how to do most of number one and then leave the rest to you. But hopefully this will be enough to get you started. It'll clear up whatever confusion you have. If my screen, so I'm just going to show you what is done on my computer. If this looks nothing like what you have on your computer, then we'll just have to figure out some other way to help you. But I think that this should be similar enough to what you have that it will be compatible for you. So in any case, let's start with number one. So here it is. I'm going to show you how to do A, B, and C, and then hopefully you can do the rest. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is enter the data that's given. So here is the data that's given. You want to enter it into the first two columns. So it gives it to you in rows. These are two rows here, but you want it in columns. I don't think it will work if you do two rows. So I'm going to enter the Celsius data first, and then I'll enter the Fahrenheit data. And of course, you want to be consistent while you're doing this. So 0 goes with 32, 50 goes with 122, etc. Okay, so the first column is all Fahrenheit, the first column is all Celsius values. The second column is all Fahrenheit values that go with the corresponding Celsius value. Okay, so the data is in. In order to graph it, what you want to do, I guess I don't need that other stuff anymore, so let me expand this. So what you want to do is highlight it, and I guess your screen would default to this. It would be at home. And so to graph the data, you want to click on Charts, and then you want to scatter plot. So you would click on this. And one thing I should mention here is that if your Excel file is condensed like this, you notice you don't see scatter plot anymore. And so if you want scatter plot to appear up there, you're going to want to make sure your screen is big enough. So I expand it back out, and there's scatter right there. So I click on scatter and then marked scatter. And there you go. Here is that data. So this point down here is the point 0, 32. The first coordinate is 0, the second coordinate is 32. Here is 50, 122, etc. So it's graphed those 5 points for you. So in part A, when it says graph the data, that's all it wants you to do. In part B, when it says graph the linear model which fits the data, what you want to do is add a trend line to this. You want to add a line of best fit. And so to do that, what you do is you click on a point, and then you right click on it. So you have to make sure that you have a point selected. So notice these options here. If I were to click somewhere else, notice the options are different. So you really do want to have a point selected. Okay, so I'm going to add a trend line. And then I think what it'll show you when you open it are these options here. And it defaults to linear, and that's what you want. You want a line, you don't want a curve of some kind. So linear. And then if you actually want to see the line itself, if you want Excel to give you an equation of that line, you choose Options, and then click this, Display Equation on Chart. Okay, and notice right there, oops, didn't mean to do that. There is your equation. So in part C here, when it says find the equation or model of the line that fits the data, this is it. Y equals 1.8x plus 32. Now it's important to notice with this line, Excel is always going to give the line in terms of x and y. Those are the two variable names that it chooses. So Excel, of course, doesn't know that you're dealing with a C and an F over here. It has no way of knowing that. So it always gives you an x and a y. So you have to remember what variable means what. So in Excel, the x variable always represents values from the first column. And for us, the first column represented Celsius values. So here, x is the same thing as C. And in Excel, y always represents the second column values. The second column are Fahrenheit values. Therefore, here in this equation, y is the same thing as F. Okay, so I hope that cleared up some of your questions. Of course, if you have other questions, just email me and I'll see what I can do.